So one of the things I wanted to do while I was out here today is kind of give you guys a review of what I think about the FSR tent and awning. That's the Aspen V2, so it's not the XL. Word to the wise, get the XL. I think it's worth the extra inches. I didn't get the XL because we often find ourselves bumping off of trees and things like that up on top, on the sides. And I thought the XL might be just wide enough to where that'd be a problem. But frankly, looking back now, I think I wish I would have got it.
So on the FSR website, there is a find your fitment area once you select the tent that you want to look at. And if you click this, you can go to a selection here where you can choose your vehicle. And once you have it in here, you can apply the tent that you want to use. And for us, it's the Aspen V2. And this is the key right here. You can actually show how wide this is right on the Jeep. And when I looked at this, I thought, wow, look at that. It's pretty close to the edges. And if you switch to the XL from the standard, it looked to me like it was going to hang over the edges of the Jeep. And let me go back and show you the standard. And you can actually close the tent too. And this is where they show the standard sitting on the Jeep with the edges of the Jeep and the rain gutters and so forth. So as you can see, that's tucked in nicely, and that's kind of what I expected. But if I go back and I select the XL and we confirm that, and then I close the tent, here you can actually see it looks like it hangs over by a pretty substantial amount. And remember, I'm also going to have an awning on here as well on the driver's side, which would stick out even farther. And that right there, in a nutshell, is why I ended up going with the V2 standard.
One of the key things to note when you have this setup like this is that you really need to deploy the tent before you deploy the awning if you're going to put the awning out. The reason for that is that you need to be able to reach this side latch.
Important note here, guys. I inverted this latch so that it's operational with the awning. If you don't do that, the awning will interfere with the latch.
Now, and the other thing you need to be able to do is climb up on the bumper here and deploy these latches and lift it up. And once that's done, you can actually go ahead and open the awning. But let me go ahead and let's get the tent up first. You hungry, huh, Bubba?
Now I'm going to avoid to do cuts in the video because I want you guys to see exactly what I go through in the process and how long it takes.
Tree limb, I got it. Might have been a tree limb.
Note that I do have a Zen bivy in the tent along with Freespirit's cloud topper on the mattress for comfort. This does create some compression. That means I have to hold the top down to unhook the latches.
So the bungee actually comes apart with little hooks, and I always hook it right here to the little ring so that it's not wrapped around the tent when it's open. So let me go ahead and show you guys kind of how I have the ladder in here. So it's really pretty simple. I've built a small little tray thing here to keep the bottom in that it tucks into, but to get the ladder out, I really just Velcro and pull the ladder out. Now the hooks for the ladder are pretty simple and they screw into the actual T-track here. But one thing you want to be able to do is make sure that your ladder is positioned in a spot that it's not going to impede your door when you open it, so this can swing freely when it's actually down. And if you're going to have rotopacks here too, you may want to make sure that whatever pack you need to get to is off before you actually put the ladder on. Otherwise, it can be a real pain to get to this one. This one's easy, but the one that my ladder comes down in front of, that one would be obstructed, obviously. So I usually actually just retract one bottom rung, and that sets these things pretty level for your feet right there, which is really cool because this does have the nice slanted rungs in the ladder, so your feet aren't just on a corner every time you try and get up and down the ladder, which is actually really nice. Props to FSR for including that in their ladder. And then we can pop out the back. Now, this is something that, I'll be honest with you, after having it, I'm not sure how necessary this is. Does it buy you a little bit of headroom? Possibly, but I'm not really sure. Now, this is another thing too. I wish more tent manufacturers were making the screen and the door one piece, one zipper solution. The fact that the screen is on the outside means I usually have to tuck it in here until I go to bed at night, something like this, just kind of into the tent itself like that. And then I can get up here and open the door, and I'll just flop that in. Now, you can see my Zen Bivy is already in here, but this piece right here is what I was talking about. This is what needs to actually get pushed back and popped out. And you'll note your rod is right here, right? So you can pop this back all the way, just like that. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. It's probably a little dark in here, but the rod itself, literally with this,
you know what, I can't see anything right here.
Right,
let's try this again.
All right, so I went ahead and opened all the windows so you could see a little better here. The way this works is you got the rod here, the prop rod, and then you've got a bar at the very back. I'll show you what that looks like here. You can see the crossbar that goes across the back right here at the top of the pop out. And essentially all you do is you take this, is you turn it clockwise, it loosens up. As you turn it counterclockwise, it tightens, and this swivels down here. So what you do is you can turn it to loosen it, and then clip it onto the bar back here. Okay, so it's clipped on there, as you can see. So what we can do now is just loosen it, push that all the way out like that, and then twist it to tighten, just like that. And now that's popped out all the way. So that's pretty much it for setting up the tent itself. Now, I do have the air foam mattress, and the air foam mattress has a couple of openings here for airing it up. You can see there's one here, just where the ladder pops up right here, and then there's another one towards the front. And once the door is zipped down all the way, you can see you can get access to it here pretty easily to fill it. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna open that, and then you'll see inside there's a small little diaphragm in here that you can open and close, and that's going to prevent air from going in or out depending on which way you push it. So you can see if you push it this way with this sticking out, air can easily go in but won't come out, and if you push it the other way, air will come out but not go in. So this is actually quite useful. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and air the tent up. Close that. So it takes all of about 30 seconds to air it up, but if I'm being completely honest, do I wish that I didn't have that step? Yeah, I do. A couple of things to note. We do have what's called the cloud topper, and this is a topper from FSR that actually goes on top of the mattress, and it is cushy. To me, that's kind of a must-have, and then of course we have the sheet to go over it. That together with an air foam mattress, man, it is plush. Do I wish it was just a foam mattress sometimes? Sure, but I also know that just a foam mattress isn't going to be quite as comfortable as the air foam mattress, because it sleeps like a dream, you guys. The last thing I actually do to get the tent ready at night is to go ahead and plug in a USB battery here for my lights. Whoops, just like that. And once that's plugged in, the light system is ready to go, and that actually lights things up pretty good in here at night. So now I have lights when I get in the tent tonight, and I literally just put this right in the pocket there. Pockets here in the back, and pockets up here You've got a total of 6 pockets up here actually, and then 2 of those are transparent so that you can actually take and put your iPad in and have a movie night. Alright, so it turns out that is the road. We made it. Hey, we made it. Alright, something else you'll notice. Again, up here you see the lighting that actually comes up and wraps around inside the tent, but there's also really nice ventilation vents right at the top on both sides that allow you to really keep the condensation down inside the tent. And I've never really had a condensation issue in this tent in cold weather, snow, no matter what. Actually, I almost forgot. There is one last thing. Got to get my pillow. Whoop. Now it's ready. So if it was wintertime, there would be one more additional step, and that is to feed the heater hose into the heater duct here. And that, of course, isn't needed right now because it's August and it's still like 70-something degrees out here. Now that the tent is up, we can go ahead and deploy the awning without any obstructions or need to get back up there. 3 buckles instead of 3 Velcro straps. The OVS awning that I used to have had 3 Velcro straps instead. Now I am using roller cam instead of a strap, and I do that because it's lightweight, it's simple, I can easily just leave it right in everything, and it's small, and the roller cams work really good. If you guys haven't used roller cams before, these things are really cool. That's it. So we are fully deployed, awning and tent. So this has been actually really good for me. You'll notice I didn't even pack the legs for the tent because the forecast didn't call for any wind at all. So I'll show you guys a little trick that I did with regards to the bag that holds the legs. This used to just hang down even though the straps already had the awning in place. I felt like that made the awning sag too much in the pouch, and so what I did was I actually cut a small little notch through the bag and fed the actual buckles through it. So the buckles wrap around both the legs that get stored in the pouch and the awning to hold everything up nice and tight. Now there is another bag here, as you can see, and these bags just slide right in. This bag with the Velcro pouch, this is all of the guy wires and stakes for the awning itself. And then this is a bag that also comes with the awning that slides right into the rail as well. And what I use that for is to put my battery so that I can power the actual lights. And I'll show you that. You have one here. You have another one right here. There's only 2 lights. Like so. Put the battery pack right in here, and then I can turn my lights on right here with just a touch so you can see the lights, and those do come in handy at night.
So let's take a minute to talk about the important aspects of this tent and awning that were important to us. First, the tent only weighs 134 pounds. Although it's not the lightest tent on the market, that is still very light for a rooftop tent that has good insulation and allows us to store bedding inside. The sleeping area in the tent is 45.5 inches by 81.5 inches, so it's cozy for 2, but we don't have any issues with headroom or footroom. It includes several pockets for storage inside, including the ceiling where you can also place an iPad for watching movies, which we never do. This tent really just checked a lot of boxes for us. Lightweight, enough room, heater port, lighting, quick and easy setup and breakdown, and it's low profile. The awning is also much lighter than what we had before. It's it's only 45 pounds. It includes lights, and it does a better job of covering the passenger rear corner of the camp kitchen. It's freestanding, and it sets up and breaks down really quick as well. We've used this tent and awning in all kinds of weather, including snow camping.
Okay, so last night you saw the setup of the awning and the tent. Today I'm going to walk you through the breakdown so you guys can see about how long that takes. Note that things are really kind of wet and dewy right now, but that's okay. You can let the sun dry it out, which could take a little bit, but honestly, when I get home tonight, I'll go ahead and open everything up and let it dry out at home. So yeah, we're packing it up wet, but this would be no different than if you were camping in the rain or snow. All right, so remember I told you guys I was using the roller cam. I think they're called roller cam. I'll put a label for them up, but you can see how cool these things are in that all you got to do is release the little cam here, and that will allow the slack to come into the line just like that. And then what you can do is just unclip it from the hook here, just like that. Okay, so now one of the things you want to do before you start to roll the thing up and it gets real tight is, because there's 3 buckles, you'll actually want to take and grab those from behind and make sure they're out where you can get to them. And the one in the very back right here is the one that gets pinched. So you can see the buckle right here. That's going to come over the top of the actual awning. 2. And the 3rd one right up here. 3. Just like that. I'll take this sucker and I'll literally just throw it right in there while I roll this up. Now, what's really cool about the FSR is that there's actually this little ledge up here, which is really cool. I don't know why other vendors don't do this, but there's like this bracket right here that the whole thing, the arms and everything, kind of can go right into and sit on top of and hold it in place so that the weight's not hanging down right here. And that's really cool. So then what I'll do, once it's rolled up like this, I'll just go ahead. And I always kind of start with this middle buckle. I don't know why, but you can just go ahead and loosen it up, buckle it, and pull the strap tight, just like that. Just loosen the strap a little, buckle it, like that, and then you can just tighten the strap. Just like that, and then tighten the strap. There you go. Straps in. Like that. Tuck our bags in. So this is going to be just the reverse of what we did when we set it up, right? So we're going to go ahead and give ourselves access to the bar that's up in here. Okay. We'll actually loosen the bar by turning it counterclockwise. Well, I guess it'd be clockwise if you're looking at it this way. And then we can just pop the clip off. Just like that. Our little clip that was on there. And then when we retract it and shorten it, we just turn it back the other way and that holds it in place. And that will just kind of dangle here for us. So now when we actually pull the tent, back of the tent in, this whole thing is just going to collapse forward. And I'm going to zip this door up before I close it. Now I always kind of leave a little gap in the door at the top right here, just like that, so that air can go out really easily when it collapses, and that makes things easier for it to go down. All right, so as this comes forward, you can see it collapses into the tent. We can go ahead and zip our doors up, zip our screen up, and we're ready to break this down the rest of the way. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reattach the bungee And that'll help pull the sides in so that it tucks itself in pretty well. Pull it down. Now you'll notice you do still need to do a little bit of tucking here. Yeah. And if you've let the air out of the mattress like I did this morning, this will be a lot easier. At least if you're storing any bedding in there. Just like that, and then you still have the 2 latches on the sides. Now notice, because I'm using the awning, what I've done is I've actually inverted this latch so that it latches up instead of down. Now that does stick up a little, but if you don't do that, you won't be able to access this latch with the awning on here. All right, there you have it. All broke down. I mean, I took a little longer so I could kind of walk you guys through it, but it breaks down pretty good. My thoughts. Frankly, that whole area that bumps out in the back like that you have to undo the bar inside and fold down, I don't know that I'm gaining much from that, and I think I could live without it. And I think that would actually make the tent even lighter. GFC is a really good example of that, the Go Fast Camper, but the Go Fast Camper doesn't come with an air foam mattress. And I really want to test that out to see how comfortable it is, because if it's just as comfortable, I think I could do without that too. The awning, I do not have the legs today. I didn't bring them with me because I knew there wasn't going to be any wind. If the legs were in there, you'd have to put those back in the pouch before you roll everything up and zip it up. And that's just a little added thing. Same with the guy lines, right? The guy wires, if you actually had the legs down, you'd have to put the guy wires down, you know, if there's wind, you know. But anyway, that's actually not bad. I tell you what, it's a whole lot better than the tent we tested out before this, if you guys recall, and you can go back and watch that video as well. So in general, I'm pretty happy with the FSR. Still want to test a couple of other tents though, but this is pretty cool. Now I just got to put the ladder away. It's amazing what you can do with a little bit of Velcro, but that is really solid and sturdy right there. Works pretty good.
I hope you guys found this overview of the FSR Aspen V2 and 270-degree awning useful. So far, these are the best we've had the opportunity to test as we search for the best option for our usage, but I doubt it will be the last. Be sure to like and subscribe so you can catch future reviews as well, and we'll see you next time on Golden's Gone Wheelin'.